Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
It's your gut and tit, mate.
You are all gut and tit. And you... Good morning. Welcome to Drum and Drummer. It's a podcast about drums and things. Pop it in your ears every week on a Thursday. Or if you listen on another day, 'cause you can't get round to it on Thursday. drumanddrummer.com.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no words, no notes.
No notes. Won't surprise you. It wasn't pre-written. That was just fresh.
Yeah. You didn't even have
your laptop battery.
Well, yeah, I was waiting for you to bring that up.
Yeah.
I was thinking he's going to bring this up. My laptop. Well, I haven't used my Mac literally since we did the last pod. You know, I use it for invoices and this podcast. And that is it. You know, and I haven't had to invoice anyone.
And that's what Steve Jobs wanted.
Exactly. You know? Yeah.
That was the goal. This
it's
is
like,
machine.
You've kept that going for a while, George. Yep. It turns out when you just send a few invoices and do a podcast to a few listeners every week, you know, it actually doesn't take that much of a beating, the old laptop. I'm a bit like that woman. You ever hear about that woman in Norway or something who had the best internet speed of anyone in the world?
No. But I want to.
Yeah, but she just I don't know if it was Norway, one of those countries, you know, one of those cold northern European countries. And... but she just lived in like the perfect spot for like all just perfect internet. And she just used it to look up the weather. You know what I mean? She just went, oh, is it going to be rainy tomorrow? I don't know. And it just tells her quicker than anyone else in the world, you know. But it's just interesting. It's a bit like that with the Mac, you know. Yeah. It's like, I've got all this power. I could do so much with this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just go, Tim Love. There you go. There's an invoice.
You could write a book or...
Write a book.
I mean, you don't need a computer for that. There's probably lots of things.
Graphic
Can't think of
design.
anything worth doing. Can't think of anything worth doing with your life. Can't think of anything what's worth doing anymore.
No. Wow. Christ. How is retirement? You said you got some work. Oh, need some work to come in.
Well, you just said we were talking about what we're going to talk about, and you were like, I've done another. You said, I've done another double gig day.
Wow, I managed to actually do it.
Managed to do one, and it was very different. I used to do that, sort of cram all the work in.
Yeah.
And I have a regular client in the studio, and it's just every couple of weeks, 1 till 3, and it's easy work. I just edit stuff. It's really weird. There's some original music as well, but it's like, he's got these like language audio clip for learning Thai. You can picture the sort of bloke he is, and it'll be like, this word at 1 minute 33 is a bit loud, can you turn it down? And I'll be like, I'll just clip it, drag the volume down, and then it's like, and then this word at 1 minute 55 is a bit loud. But anyway, that's like 1 till 3, and he's a nice chap. So he comes to the studio, and I go, that's enough for today. That's enough work,
Yeah. Do you do anything before the 1 p.m. start?
Well, it's a bit of an odd time, isn't it? Because, but I'll tell you what I've been doing in the mornings recently.
Christ.
Well, a few weeks ago, hark back, George, to I did a gig when England were playing Panama, and it was a 21st birthday party, and it was like 3 hours away. I recorded in the day, 9 till 3. Drove 3 hours to Taunton or somewhere.
Was this the very last minute one that came in a few months before?
Yeah, it was the last minute. Months
God,
before.
that is last minute. Yeah.
Drove 3 hours to Taunton, did the gig, finished playing at midnight. 3 hours home, watched the England game at 3 a.m. Anyway, during our set, and obviously I've still got, had my back surgery at the end of January.
I didn't know that. You kept that quiet.
Yeah. I don't want to put it out there too much.
No,
I like to keep those sorts of things in house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
People are much more interested in the magpie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's,
Anything but our drumming, to be honest. Yeah.
But anyway, during that set we're playing, so I'm still having a few issues with the back, right? And it'll take time. I've got a shoulder issue, and I've got a bit of a hip issue. But in general, during that, especially the second set, I was like, I am fucked. My body is fucked.
Yeah.
Now, it had been a long day, and it had been a long drive, and we're playing very late, so you got to take that into
account.
Into account. Thank you. Thank you. But I was like, I think sometimes you hit a tipping point with things. And, I used to smoke, and I got to a point where it was like, right,
Absolute
I got to
lad.
stop.
Yeah. What was your stopping point?
We're smoking.
Yeah. What age did you stop? Because listeners don't know. I don't think we've mentioned this before,
Yeah. It was about,
that interesting.
I think it was about 9 years ago now. 9 years ago. I did a really busy summer gig I was smoking loads, and I think I just got to the point where I was like, I am disgusting.
Yeah.
I am disgusting, and this is fucking expensive. When it started getting towards like a tenner a pack, you're like,
yeah,
what?
They're
and
20 quid a pack now.
It became a real inconvenience of like factoring in purchasing cigarettes to do a long day where I wouldn't be able to have a shop accessible, if it's a long studio shift or a gig or something. And it was like, fucking hell, I'm buying so many, and it's like, this is costing so much money, and I feel shit. I was waking up after gig, and I feel shit. I had that headache and the smell. I was just like, right, it's gotta change. Anyway, so this gig I was playing, and I was like, physically, I'm fucked. This is horrible. Like, I don't feel good. This doesn't feel very nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, there's still things with the back that are still settling. The nerves are still settling. It's still like things. But it's that thing of going, right, I'm seeing my surgeon in August for a 6 month sort of x-ray and have a look and sort of stuff. And I did my physio, and I got some resistance bands, and I was doing the exercises that we're told. Now, because of this is the catch-22 with the surgery, is because like I had the surgery to help fix my back, but then I couldn't really do anything for 2 months. So a lot of my, I say muscle, the muscle exists, not that it was strong, but that, I had atrophy from just not moving because I couldn't move because I was recovering from the surgery. But then you gain weight, and the weight gain makes things worse.
Yeah.
With the back, because it's carrying around. Because the weight doesn't go on the legs, doesn't go on the arms. It is all gut and tit.
Gut and tit, baby.
It's all gut and tit, right? I'm like, hold me up, I'm like a frog in science class, one of them sort of things. I got great legs.
Yeah.
I got great legs.
Yeah.
But then it's just this like big potato blob in the middle, and then I got okay arms and lovely hands. They don't get fat. Look at them, they're lovely. But so you're in this thing, and it's like, well, but to do exercise and move, it's hard because I'm recovering from surgery.
Yeah.
So you're in this sort of catch-22. And obviously, I'm not the first person to experience this, but I did that gig, and I was like, I was getting through gigs, like I could do them, but I probably started gigging maybe a bit too early. But I needed the money. And I was like, this was a breaking point of, okay, I need to up my efforts now to not make the surgery be a waste of time. And not that it is a waste of time, because it's had a massive improvement, especially down the left side of my spine and hips and legs and things. But if it's that thing, if you go to the physio or go to the doctor, the surgeon or whatever, and be like, yep, still got problems, and they go, yeah, well, you're fat.
It's your gut and tit, mate.
You are all gut and tit. And you...
Yeah. And you go, oh yeah, sorry, doc.
I go, yeah, you're right. I go, can you fix that? But it's like, I've got to help myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've helped me lots.
Yeah.
But if they go, yeah, but you're fat, so we can't do much if you're still fat. Like, you need to do something about that.
So
this,
like, right. Just to clarify, that didn't happen, did it? Or is this
no,
you
it didn't
thinking
happen,
this
but
is what will happen if you go?
Yeah, it's that, it's that thing of you gotta help yourself before.
Yeah.
Because that's something they can't do for me.
Yeah.
And I just think there's examples. They're not quite, it's like, oh, the kids are shit in school. Yeah, you're the parents. You fucking sort them out.
I mean, I can give an example on that topic that you're on about. I used to know, I had a mate of mine in uni, and he had a girlfriend who was on the larger side. And but she would always complain about doctors. She'd be like, oh, doctors aren't doing anything about my feet. My feet are just always sore. And I was like, well, it's probably because you're carrying 18 stone. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Like it's
exactly what.
But like,
exactly
it used to annoy me because she'd never take accountability. She'd just be like, oh, it's the doctors. They're not doing anything. It's like, well, you have McDonald's every day,
Yeah.
So,
for sure. And that's the thing. And it's like, they go, I want to go, right, fix my back, but I want to keep eating Jaffa cakes.
Yeah.
Like, I want all the cookies.
Yeah.
And I'll have surgery so I can keep having the cookies.
Yeah.
But it should be, well, why don't you stop having the cookies?
Yeah.
And then maybe you don't need surgery.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you remember
self-fix the problem.
Yeah, 20 years ago when you used to have all those brilliant fat people shows that have just stopped, probably due to they were offensive, but they were great. Telly. But there was always like the gastric band shows, and they'd always find the fattest person. And then, the whole thing would be like, okay, they've doctor's appointments, and they'd cry. And then they'd be like, okay, we can fit you in for a gastric band. And then they get the date in. And this would happen on every single episode without fail, where they'd go, now that he's got his, appointment for his gastric band to be fitted, this is the part where Tony decides to really up his eating because it's the last time he'll... And I remember there was like an interview with this guy who's like, this is the last time I'm ever going to be able to... eat like this at a barbecue, so I'm chowing down. And like, up until the gastric band, he just ate so much because he was like, well, once I got the gastric band, I can't eat like this anymore. Which I kind of get to a point, but also it's like, come on, give your doctor something to work with. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
absolutely, yeah.
Like, yeah. So, yeah.
So, what I've been doing is walking's been very good for me in the past with losing weight and helping my back. And I used to walk to blacksmiths sometimes twice a day. That gave me, a good little walk. I was like, right, I've got to walk more. I've got to walk more.
Yeah.
So I've been doing every, like Monday to Friday, I've been getting up. I've been walking 4 kilometres a day. Nice 40-minute stroll, 3 times around the block, around the estate here where I live. And I was like, right, I've got my resistance bands and I've got the exercises from the physio. So I'm going to do them, but now I'm going to add in some more resistance band exercises as well. And then I've just got some like body weight workout videos, to just do like 15 minutes a day of that. Because it's like, if I'm relying on these, the new spine discs to help and all that, well, I've got to give the body something to work with. I've got to, even if it's just something like, and to shed a few pounds, take the gut and tit down a bit. Yeah. And just give the other muscles, the core, shoulders, back, give them a workout so they can strengthen up and increase. Because I don't want to feel like that when I'm playing drums at a gig. I don't want to feel like, fucking hell, this is hard, and I don't want to do it anymore. I want to feel fresh. I want to feel good. So I've been doing that for the last sort of few weeks, and it's already having a good effect. Yeah. I've dropped just nearly 3 kilos in the last sort of 3-4 weeks. Which is nice. I've got a goal in mind, but, it's hard because it's easy to do those things, but then once it starts raining or you get busy, it's all that sort of thing. But that's what I've been doing. So that's what I did this morning before my recording session.
Well, that's great. Like, I mean, I don't think I've told you I've been on exactly the same, not exactly the same, but the same thing. Because I got, and anyone that I've been in a van with has been bored to death, like Jimmy with all this stuff, or Chris, or any of them. But yeah, I in May I got up to 85, nearly 86 kilos, which is like the heaviest I've ever been. But it is weird because it sort of creeps up on you, and then you all of a sudden go, oh my god, And I went, I need to fix this. But my thing was, I always go too hard with stuff. Not to sound like, oh, I'm cool. Look at how, in. But that's the reason for like the Ironmans and the whatever, because it's like, what's the maddest thing I can do? But those sorts of things aren't sustainable. It'd be like, you try and train for that. You're like, well, I have to do a 10-mile run, which is a crazier amount of running, Whereas if you do a 2-mile run, that's still a run. You've still ran, And so I started going, right, well, I'm going to start going back to the gym. And I was like, I'll do it on my own terms. I won't go to CrossFit. And even that was like, I didn't enjoy it. I started going to the gym, but I was doing like, I got an app and it was showing me like what workouts to do, but it'd be like, oh, well, I've got to do a bench press, but it's being used. And instantly I got disheartened by it. And also looking at myself in the mirror, because there's mirrors obviously everywhere in a gym. And just like clothes, that I used to wear, like I'm not fat, but it was just like I was bigger than I was and going like, oh God, I don't feel great about this. So I went, right, well, do you know what I need to do? I need to do like the easiest thing that I can be consistent with. So it was calorie counting and getting more protein in, because I've done that before and not got the protein. But if you eat enough protein, it's like it does keep you full. And then walk 10,000 steps a day and drink 2 liters. And like, that's it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, I can do that every day. Whereas in the past, my problem has been like, I'll go fully in and like, right, I'm going to go to the gym for 2 hours every single day. And for the first 4 days, you can do it. And then you don't. And then you go, oh, forget it. Just fuck it all. Who cares, Whereas if instead,
give me the cake.
Yeah. If instead you go, no, just make sure you walk 10,000. That's doable. I walk to work and back, and in the day, go for a walk on my break, and then walk a little bit further. Track what I'm eating. Like see what is calorie dense, and then make sure I'm drinking enough. And then not taking away your weight loss, but I was very proud with mine as well, because I think I lost about 5 kg since May. And I was like, cool. So now I'm down to like under 80. So I'm like, okay, that's good. But also even things like, I'm in no rush to start running again. I want to go running, but me and Jimmy Green have described the Gut And Tit thing as like having a fat sock. That's the way we described it. It's kind of, and I hate the feeling when I'm running and you can just feel your stomach like going up and down, like, just that flab. And you're just like, this isn't fun, And if you look into it, it's like the difference in calories, not to make this podcast about health and stuff, but but it's interesting. The difference in calories between running and walking isn't that much. It's like if you walk 5K, it's basically just as good as running 5K, but then you're not insanely hungry afterwards, and you're not worrying about messing up your ankle. And it's easier to do that every day than run 5K. If you say, right, you have to run 5 kilometers every day for a month, you'd be like, oh, I can't fit that in. How am I going to fit that in? If you say you got to walk 5K, you're like, oh, that's doable. It doesn't all have to be at once and whatever. So it's great that you're doing that. And it is.
I think as well, like with my age and just other ailments, and like, my knees sound like a fucking pepper grinder when I walk up the stairs. Like it's horrible. And my left shoulder's a bit fucked from demolishing blacksmiths and things like that. But it's like, I can walk.
Yeah.
I can walk. So that's like,
exactly.
I'm not in a position to go running really, or play football, or do any kind of things like that, or serious weights. But it's like, right, if I can just, as you say, like walk, do this walk, just get up, do the walk, do some light resistance band exercises to just give the muscles some sort of thing like that, and a bit of body stuff. Like, it's going to help. And then if I shift a few pounds, then I'm giving my back the best chance at getting better. And it is that, like, 3 kilograms, like it's 3 bags of sugar I'm not carrying around with me. You know? And I want to feel a bit smooth around the kit. I want to feel a bit lighter, a bit, bit more speedy. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. But I've also had some busy weekend working with a new artist in the studio called Kira. So Sunday was working on a couple of songs of her with Neil. So I did some session drumming on that, and Neil played some guitar and bass and things. And then I did session drumming in the studio yesterday for another artist. I did 4 songs yesterday.
Nice.
For an artist called Kat Meredith. I think they're the last 4 songs for the album. I've been doing like them sporadically over the last few months. But that was a nice fun session. And then, today I had my weird editing session. And then I'm actually doing some horns on the stuff for Kira. So
nice.
Between 1 and 3 and doing this podcast, I was writing and putting some trombone down on one of the tracks. So it's good. Lovely. It's nice. It's been it's been a lovely few days.
Yeah.
How have you been, George? What have you been up to?
Well,
you mentioned a double gig.
Yeah, I'll talk about the double gig. Sure. With the Laney lot. So this had been in the Canada for a while. It was quite an exciting one where we were going, 2 gigs in one day. And so the first place...
Where's this on the level of Tet Fest? Was this excitement, why was it exciting?
Because it's 2 gigs in one day. And I think also it was kind of like we were on, not before Top Loader, but on the same bill, on the same stage. And you're like, oh, that's cool. That's more of a, reputable festival,
Yeah. I mean, they haven't had a hit in 20 years, but...
Exactly. And you kind of go, are we on the way up or are they on the way down, And...
both, and you've met at that
weird...
Sweet spot,
because...
Are they... So you're on the same stage as them?
We are. But it is a case of like... Once they've played that song, what do they do? Do they wait? Yeah. At what point do you put... If you're a one-hit wonder band, where do you put your one hit? Do you end with it? Or do you do it like third from the last? Or... Because you can't open with it. Because then everyone just leaves.
Yeah, surely you got to do it last. You
got to do it last, yeah.
Because otherwise everyone's going, aren't they?
Exactly.
Everyone's going to leave.
But anyway, we get there 11 a.m. in Bournemouth, which is in Dorset.
Correct.
And then, it was all good. We set up. I mean, who cares about the setup? It's all good. We're like an oiled machine now with Chris as our fearless leader in setting up.
Just on a drumming point, though, setting up. Are these house kits?
Yes.
And you're bringing breakables?
So get on this, right? So before I left, because I left from my parents' house.
Is the car fixed?
Well, it is. Yeah, car's fixed.
Car's fixed.
But I borrowed my dad's car because I don't want to risk it.
Trust issues.
Yeah, a little bit. And so anyway, my mum was like, have you got your drum mat? Don't need that. They got everything there. Turned up, no drum mat. They got a house kit, but I was like, what do you mean there's no mat? He's like, I'm just going to tape it down. What?
Have you seen my thighs? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so it's a house kit, but then I'd used all my own stands and stuff. Anyway, did the gig. Gig was fine, whatever.
Top Loader ain't using the house kit, are they?
No, surely not. No. Can you imagine? I mean, that's a real fool.
Were they on after you? Were they on later?
No. It was like, I think they were on at like evening. It was them and then Martin Kemp, Ibiza Classics.
Great.
So, But anyway, we played so early in the day.
Sounds like an Alan Partridge idea.
It does. But we played at like 1 till 1:45 and then packed down proper quick because we knew that we were then on in a venue just by Glastonbury at 6:30. So we were like, right, we've got to go to get there for 4:30. And then we get there for about 3:30. We're like, oh, this is good. It's good. We still got 2 hours before we're on. And then Georgie goes, oh, no, we're on at 5:30. We're like, fucking hell. Right, okay. Action stations, So
was that a last minute change? Or
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Knew and they just didn't tell you.
I'm not sure. But it was a case of like, oh, I can see why we left that last one. So we just, for some reason, we all just thought it was 6:30. Me, Chris, Jimmy, and Milos. And then it was like, no, it's 5:30. Like, oh, shit. Okay, right. So anyway, we get there. We drive past, we weren't on the main stage. We drove past the main stage of this festival. It's called like Rock and Ribs or something, which sounds like it's going to be shit, but it was amazing. It was like, you would have loved it. It was monster trucks. On the day we were playing, the main stage had 90s and noughties alternative bands. So there was like, obviously, tributes. So it was Linkin Park, Slipknot, Elvana, which is more like a, whatever. But they were really good. They were really good bands, and the main stage was like big and screens and lights and pyro, and you're like, this is a real festival, And it's that weird thing where like the tribute festivals are almost, they will never be as big as the real ones, but they can hold their own. But anyway, we drove past the main stage to our other stage. And there was a band on when we got there, and they were right, but I was sort of looking at the crowd like, oh, this is, there's no one.
Were they a tribute band?
I don't know, because there was a few people that were like country acts that wrote their own
the
song.
Lainey Wilson experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just some bald guy on the drums. Like, is that me? But anyway, they were playing, and everyone was sort of sat in deck chairs quite far back from the stage. You know how it is. And I was like, oh, this might be a bit shit. Like, the first gig today wasn't that great. But then, as we were setting up, people started to come in, and by the time we got on stage, it was, I'd say, fairly packed in the tent. We were like, oh, brilliant. So we had a great gig. Like, it was the most receptive a crowd has ever been, I felt like. It was like, it was kind of, Jimmy was talking about it. He's saying it is addictive. I'm sure people listening will understand that play music, where it's like when you do stuff and get the crowd involved, even just clapping your hands and people clap, or, swinging your arms and people join in. It's like, oh, that is fun, And, but what was great is after we finished, I mean, not great for the next band, but no one had a crowd like that afterwards. And that's not me in any way trying to be like, look at how good we were. But it was almost like, oh, that was a nice sort of compliment. You know what I mean? It was sort of, for the rest of the day, it kind of went back to how it was. So, yeah, it was great. And, but it was just mad to do two in such quick succession. I mean, we played the first gig at 1 till 1:45, packed down all our rig in the van, drove up to wherever it was by Glastonbury, set up, played the gig, and then packed down and off stage by, I don't know, before 7 p.m. You're like, this is great, but mad, to do two festival shows by 7 p.m. And be done. And then we just sort of explored for a bit and then came back. And then I managed to watch the last bit of the football. But yeah, it was great. It was kind of like a testament to us four, at least. Me, Chris, Jimmy, and Milos. Like how quickly we can set up, get packed down. Because Georgie's sort of, obviously separate to that. She's getting ready, yada yada yada. But yeah, it's great day. And it was almost like.
Did they have a drum mat?
Yes, they did. Quite a nice kit. But afterwards, I was like, I could do another gig. We were so pumped. Like, we were going, how many could you do? I was like, I reckon I could do 5. I think I could.
5?
I reckon I could do 5 45 minutes in a day. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. If I did 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 and 10, I reckon it'd be a slog. But I reckon if I had to do it, yeah. Because if they're good gigs, you know. It is. You're like, oh my god, that was great. I want to do more, especially if you only play for like an hour. Anyway, that was that. But this coming weekend, we got playing in Chichester, which will be fun because that will be the one where I've got mates coming to it. You know what I mean? Finally get to have people come down, aka Tyler Todd. So it'll be Tyler Todd, baby. But that's
very nice.
I mean, that's my main thing, Yeah, just doing that. I'm trying to think if there's anything undrum related. The car's fixed. That's all good. Anyway, that's that. I haven't really got anything more than that.
That's fair.
It was a good chat on weight loss, though. I thought that was good.
Yeah, something I've struggled with really a lot of my life.
Yeah.
I can balloon up like nothing, mate. Fucking easy.
Do you calorie count?
Do you know what I used to? I did do that for a while. But I haven't been doing that. But I've definitely been eating less. I've definitely like we haven't had me and the wife, we haven't had a pudding for weeks.
Yeah.
And I think we've just lost the sugar addiction.
Yeah.
And it's like have dinner and then it's like Well, normally then, because the living room's in a bit of a mess because we've been decorating it and we're waiting for a new sofa, so we got rid of the old ones. We just got a couple of chairs in there. Like, it's not really that comfortable. So we'll like go up and we can have the cats in the bedroom. And we've been watching a TV show called Silo. Oh, fucking brilliant, loving it.
Nice.
But then by that point, it's like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I'm not craving it. The dinner's done enough. So I think there is an element of that. But I think it's like I've always had a pretty good like self-righting mechanism where I can go, right, that's enough now. That's right. Okay, come on now. You're being silly now. But a big rule as well is like, I did in the past, because at my heaviest, which was like during COVID, like I was a big boy, but I'm quite tall and quite broad, so I don't look fat like one of them proper fattos, but I'm big,
Yeah.
And I think my biggest was like 125 kilos.
Yeah, wow.
And then when I started then coming out, I did a lot of walking in COVID and blah, 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 because I had a flare up of the back. So I was like, walked loads, and I just walked to blacksmiths and then kept walking and walking. And then I think since that time, the lowest I've got down to is like 96.
Yeah.
And then I was post-surgery, got up to 109. I'm back down to 106 now. So 100 is like, if I can get to 100, because I'm 6 foot.
Is that the goal, would you say?
That's my goal at the moment. Just get to 100, then it's like that's kind of a good place. But as you said before, like, to go for runs and go to the gym, like I just can't do that. The body's not able to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I could just walk, get those steps in, eat a bit less, and then just do some gentle work with the muscles and help them a bit.
Yeah.
Then, hopefully that's... Because the body just fucking, you get to 40 and it just fucking fails. It just creaks.
Yeah.
But then as well, you're like, well, it's been 20 years of drumming, like gigging so much, lugging all that gear, all that driving. Like, it's not good. It's not good for you. And so now it really is like, at this age, it's maintenance.
Yeah,
rather than improvement. And if I can just get that under control and help myself, because that's the thing. I don't want to go see my surgeon. It'll be like, well, of course you still got problems. You're fat.
Gut and tit.
Yeah, you're just gut and tit, mate. And as well, it's like, I have private healthcare, so all my back stuff has been through that. So I've got my money's worth eventually. But it's easy to throw money at the problem, like a personal trainer, or I'll go to see physio again, and all that sort of stuff. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, because there's a great starting point. And I used to have a personal trainer for a number of years. And that's great, but like music lessons, it's what you do in between those.
It is, yeah.
That matters, And
annoyingly, it is. What is it, like 80% diet? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's a lot of it is diet, and that's why.
Yeah.
And it's funny that I only say about the calorie counting, because it's interesting when you see what is in things. Yeah. When you see what's in mayo, how many calories are in mayonnaise? You're like, fucking hell, that's that. You go from having quite a healthy chicken wrap, get protein. You can get protein wraps, like 10 grams of protein in a wrap. You get some chicken that hasn't got any mad seasoning, and you're like, oh, this is all healthy. And you put mayonnaise on it, you're like, oh, there you go, that's 2,000 calories now. You're like, what? But I quite enjoy that. I mean, I'm aware people are listening, and I need to shut up, but people might find it interesting. I quite like now, like seeing how proteiny I can get a meal, which isn't a word, but you know what I mean. So I'll do my like overnight oats, and I'll have oats, and then I'll have protein powder, and then you put Greek yogurt in it. 0-fat Greek yogurt is like my new favorite thing, because it's so much protein for like no calories, and you put that in, and it's like eating the dessert every morning, and just like little things, like I delay when I eat that. I don't eat until like midday, because then it kind of sets everything back in a way, it's like, rather than before, I'd like get into work and be like, fucking well hungry, let's have 3 slices of toast, and you just put butter on it, and that's 9 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. I just start eating biscuits for the rest of the day. Whereas now I'm like, and I'll tell you what, the last thing, because I could bang on about this forever, but it's like, my thing was like, if I felt like I was hungry, I'd be like, right, well, I just need to eat whatever there is, because I'm hungry, and that's all I know. And So yeah, my downfall was eating whilst making dinner, So I'd be making dinner.
But it's very easy to go, I'll just have a bowl of crisps.
Exactly. Or like biscuits, or like, which is just like, but loads of little, like a little tapas of snacks, I'd be like, well, I've just got a slice of bread and put a spoon of peanut butter in it, and then just have that. Like, that doesn't count, and then you have 4 biscuits, and that doesn't count. And then some nuts. And before you know it, you've had more calories than the dinner. Whereas now I go, like tonight when I get back, it'll be like, I'm going to make something, and it might take me an hour to make, but whilst it's cooking, just go, it's all right. Like, you will eat. You're not going to die, as opposed to before. It was like, no, I will die unless I eat something now, So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Yeah.
Because we want to prolong our careers, We want to keep...
Exactly.
Want to keep playing the drums, whether
Exactly.
it's gigging or in the studio, and I don't want to feel like a fucking pile of gut and tit.
Gut and tit, yeah, exactly.
Gut and tit. Right, let's bounce, Georgie boy. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. drumandrummerpod@gmail.com. Get in touch via email. I'd love to hear from you. At Drum and Drummer Podcast on Instagram, of course. Go follow that. George, thank you very much. Listeners, thank you very much for joining us again for episode 244.
Bloody
It's
hell.
just like the number keeps going up.
Yeah.
Keeps going up.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would do.
Yeah.
But this is part of our lives and hopefully part of yours. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.